Hello, and welcome to episode 57 of the Oikos Family Podcast. I'm Sonja Wood, and this is our last episode on the topic and theme of treasures and treasure hunts. So I'm really hoping you've had a wonderful month of finding treasures and having treasure hunts and having a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've got your cup of, oh my goodness, my cup of tea. Oh, okay, this is cause for a pause. I need to get my cup of tea. Hello, I'm back with my cup of tea. Cup of tea is very important, as you probably gathered from our previous podcasts. But in actual fact, it's more than just the beverage. It's actually about just stopping, pausing, taking a moment, getting yourself a cup of tea, because I would like to share a cup of tea with you and sit and talk to you on these podcasts. And maybe you're watching the podcast, in which case, if you are, you can see my pretty cup. If you're just listening, I'm showing everybody my beautiful rose teacup. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Anyway, to me, it makes it all that much nicer when I've got a little rose cup. Or a pretty cup. Look at the pretty saucer. It's so pretty, I could actually put it on the wall. Look at it all the time. In fact, we've been talking about treasures and crafts, and as I did that, I remembered that I bought some plain white saucers, and I gave the children some paints, and they painted the saucers or little side plates while I read aloud to them from the Word or from a novel that I was reading. And then they would paint that, and we would put a finish on it, a varnish of some kind. I can't remember the detail, and we would put it on the wall. And I've still got those plates. So now those have become a treasure for me, because this whole month has all been about treasures. And treasures come in all shapes and sizes and forms, and I hope that you have found treasures this month. I hope your children have made treasures that you will have as fond memories forever. I hope you've had some treasure hunts. I hope you've had some fun, and I hope you're having a cup of tea with me now. Because for this particular podcast, being the last one of the theme of treasure hunts, I wanted to not actually spend too much time on talking about the how-to and how to do a treasure hunt and ideas for treasure hunts, but I rather just wanted to chat to you today on this final episode of this theme and just say to you that I really, really hope and encourage you to keep this theme going throughout the year, throughout your learning lifestyle at home, throughout raising your children at home, because I believe that it can help them hugely in the years to come. It can help them in so many ways when it comes to a challenge they might be facing. If they have some visual memories, like the little plate on the wall that they did when you were doing the treasure theme, or just learning to see and seek and find and bury in their heart, like I said in episode 53, I think it was, when I was sharing about how we took the book of Philippians from the Word, and we used it as a theme for us to bury treasures in our heart. And those treasures that we found in Philippians, we then brought into actual practical application. As I'm saying that, you know what I'm remembering? I'm remembering that one of the scriptures, not from Philippians, actually somewhere else in the Word, in the Old Testament, in fact, the Word says that His Word is like apples of gold and pictures of silver. And because we had become so accustomed to taking putting the Word into practical application, our daughter said, I want to do a picture of that. So she obviously immediately got some image of apples of gold and pictures of silver. And I'm going to try and find that. No promises, because while I'm busy telling you about this, I'm just remembering it now. But I'm sure I might have a photo of it, maybe not. But if I do, I'll find it and I'll put it here to show you. If not, well, then that means I didn't take a photograph of that little treasure. And there's another thing. Photograph your treasures and keep them, because then, who knows, years later, like now, our children are grown adults, and I'm now sharing with you the treasures that we found when they were growing up. And I'm hoping that I'm encouraging you to do the same, so that your children will do the same. Generation to generation, we share the goodness from God's Word, put into practical application, so that it becomes something that we can bury in our heart and keep forever. And on that topic of bearing it in your heart, I just want to say that I've actually witnessed our adult children drawing from those treasures, whether they know it or not, whether they actually have the reference of, oh, that's a treasure that I remember getting from when I was 10. I remember bearing that in my heart when I was 10. They may not even have that reference at all when they're actually doing the things. But as a parent, I see that they do something and I think, that was from when we were doing Philippians, and they buried that treasure in their heart, and now it's actually serving them. It's actually helping them in their adult life. In fact, let's talk about that a little bit. If I see or witness an adult person, be it my own child or somebody else, having a struggle in an area, what I would like to do is I would like to try and find the treasure in that area that they're struggling with and bring the awareness to it. It could be somebody who's at Oikos making books, and maybe they having a real struggle with a specific task. Actually, I'm not just going to say maybe, I'll tell you it as it is, because just yesterday I was helping one of the people at Oikos that was having a bit of a struggle with the task. So what I did is I came alongside this colleague, this person that helps and works there and serves us at Oikos in the print house. And they were really feeling actually quite nervous about something, really nervous. And I said, you don't have to be nervous. Come, you've got this. I can do this with you. I'll do it with you. Come, let me show you. And I just came alongside her and I showed her how she didn't need to. And she said to me, but I'm scared. I said, no, well, don't be scared. Let's throw the fear out the window. Do you know what I did actually? To be honest, I opened the window that we were standing next to and I pretended to throw the fear out the window. I said, let's just throw that out the window. We don't want fear here. We can't have that. And then I took her back to the task at hand, and she was genuinely afraid. And I had to help her to not be afraid. And do you know what? The day before, I was facing something that made me feel that sense of lack of confidence. And I was going, oh, I don't feel confident about this. I can't say that it was fear, because I think fear is a very strong emotion. And this lady that I'm talking about at Oikos Base, she actually told me I'm scared. So I can't say that I was feeling scared in my own personal example the day before that, because in fact, I was just feeling like I didn't have the confidence I needed to do something. And so I said to the person who was with me, I said that this person got up to leave. And I said, don't leave. I need you just to stay there because I needed the support of this person's presence. Okay, so I'm just saying that is sometimes how your children might feel. They just need you to be there, to be their cheerleader, or to help them and actually physically do the task with them, like I did for this lady who is there at Oikos Space. I said to her, let's throw fear out the window. Let's open the window, chuck it out. We don't need that. Now look, I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to help you. Anyway, so I helped her. She still didn't want to do it, so I did it and showed her that she doesn't have to be afraid. And then she did it with me helping her, and then she did it on her own. And then I saw her smiling. It ended with her feeling quite pleased with herself that she had actually conquered this, and she was doing it. And I set her up in this little station, this little workplace, and I said, there we are now. You can do that. Off, you can carry on. Off you go. Do it. You know, she was so pleased that she started showing the others what she can do. Isn't that amazing? She started off with just being afraid, and then and as far as I'm concerned, she found the treasure in not having fear, but having the opposite, having conquered that, and then having joy. And the joy gives her strength and confidence to continue. So I'm sharing all these sudden random moments that come to my mind because they're very current. They happened yesterday and the day before, as an actual wrap-up to this month's theme of finding the treasures. Because although I'm wrapping up as far as the podcasts and sharing this with you here on the video on YouTube, and I'm actually hoping that it's not going to be something that stops. I'm hoping that you're going to carry on finding the treasures right throughout the rest of the year, because that's why I started with it here in February, because I mentioned how I found 2019 had been such a tough year for so many people. And we hopped into 2020 all enthusiastic with how fantastic this decade is going to be so much better. And next thing, crash. Before anybody knew it, things were just unraveling and just becoming more difficult. So I'm thinking, well, maybe 2019 was just preparing us for needing to be intentional about looking for treasures in 2020. Like my Irish friend who's stuck in quarantine with the coronavirus, he's looking for ways to encourage other people, and he's choosing not to allow the crisis to overwhelm him. And so that is what I'm hoping this month of seeking treasures is going to establish something in you that you can actually carry throughout the rest of the year and throughout the rest of life, because it certainly is something that brings us strength, blessing, joy. And let me stop right there. I think I should stop there. I think I should stop on joy, because I know leaving you with joy will hopefully leave you with strength. So thank you very much for listening and for stopping and for going through this theme with me. I hope it has been a treasure to you. I know it has been to me to be able to have this opportunity to share with you. Thank you so much, and bye for now. Till next time.